Previously, we considered equilibrium in a market. Remember the goal. We're trying to figure out how we devise an allocation mechanism because of the fundamental problem of scarcity. And for the economies we're thinking about, the allocation mechanism is called the market. The market that we showed earlier had a demand curve and a supply curve, and price found the spot where it did its great work. That's called rationing. Price found the spot where the amount people wished to purchase was exactly equal to the amount that we actually found produced. That's great. That's an equilibrium for us, no tendency for change, and it's done its hard work for us. Now we want to change the game a bit. In order to do that, we're going to introduce a new player. So let's introduce government intervention. Government sometimes intervenes in a marketplace, and its intervention can actually change the equilibrium price and quantity. And so there's lots of ways the government could do that, but for our purposes, we're going to think about two areas that capture most of that type of interference. And one of them is we'll call direct government price controls. And the second is really indirect government impact on prices. They're not price controls, but every time that the government imposes a tax or a subsidy on a market, the price and quantity outcomes are subject to change. Indirect government price controls, there's basically two classes. We have something we call price floors, and we have something we call a price ceiling. Now, those constraints are exactly what they sound like. A price floor is a price quote. The government says prices can't go lower than that. They can go above it, but prices can't go below that. And a price ceiling is exactly the opposite. It's a price level that the government says we will not let price float above that level. It could be lower, but it can't get higher than that price ceiling. Both of these are ways where the government can come in and make direct changes to the price in a product. Taxes, on the other hand, the government puts a tax on. We are going to look at something called excise taxes, where the government will say to gasoline producers, 50 cent a gallon tax on your production. Well, you don't have to be an economist to know that's going to raise the price. But what we want to discover is exactly how does that raise the price, and can we predict how much of that raises the price, and as a little added little goodie, can we see who bears what burden of that tax? So we'll get to that as we move forward.